Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the show that never ends. My name is Rod. I'm here this morning. It's a Sunday morning that I'm filming this. I'm doing a contest entry for Chris at Record Talk. I think he pronounces it Record Talk. Chris has been in the VC for 1 year now. He is a great guy with a wonderful channel, very broad taste in music. And I've known about this contest. I've been meaning to get on it, and life gets in the way of things. Where this morning I saw Chris Profi at Musically Obsessed do his contest entry. I said, man, I got nothing to do. I'm going to jump on Chris at Record Talk's contest. That's a tongue twister. Contest is really easy, simple. Show 3 anniversary dates and an album from that year. It could be anything you want, any anniversary you want. So I'm going with the year I turned 21, The Grateful Dead. This is the album In the Dark. Great album, man. I really like this album. A lot of the older Deadheads, I was 20 when this came out, man. 21. What did I say I was? 21 years old when this album came out. I remember a lot of the older cats that were in their 30s and maybe 40s, they didn't like all the younger kids coming to the show for whatever reason. Not all of them, but some of them did. This brought a whole new generation of people to the Grateful Dead. Great album. I loved it then. I loved it now. Songs like Touch of Grey, Hell in a Bucket, West LA Fade Away, Throwing Stones. And those songs stayed in their in the songs that they were doing throughout the rest of their career. Great album, Grateful Dead. Living in Rockville, Maryland, when that album came out. And like I said, I was 21 years old. It came out when I was 21. So that's kind of where I was at 21. Still kind of just a rambling lost soul, enjoying my youth. I'm going to fast forward to 1991, the year I married my wife, John Prine's The Missing Years. My daughter Casey was also born that year. And this is an album my wife gave me on CD, our first Christmas together. John Prine was one of my favorite artists. She knew that. There was a song on here about Daddy's Little Pumpkin. Kind of reminded me of my newborn daughter, Casey. And this really reminds me of the year that I married my wife and our first child was born. John Prine, the legendary John Prine we lost in 2020. Had been a big fan of his for a long, long time. And this is the most sentimental album I have by John Prine. Prine. Did I say Prime? Anyway. Next up is... going back to 2019. And the significance of that year is it was my first official year of being retired. And those of you who are retired know, and if you haven't retired yet, you will know the feeling of it. You get a letter from Social Security. I think it's like a month before, maybe 2 months before your retirement date. And it gives your name, and it says blah, 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 and it says your first official day of retirement, your retirement date. Mine was October 19th, 2019. And that just kind of like gut punches you. You know what I'm saying? You think it's going to be joyous, man, but it's kind of weird. It's like when you graduate high school. Good, all those years are behind me, but you have all this other stuff to look forward to. This, it's all over, man. It's all over, man. Everything. And you just have the future to look forward to. Anyway, the year that happened to me, this great album came out by Gary Clark Jr. One of the greatest guitar players alive today. Gary Clark Jr. from Texas. He's a blues rocker. On this album, he kind of mixed just a touch of hip hop and some contemporary music in it, but he's traditionally a hard blues, electric guitar hero. Phenomenal, phenomenal guitar player. Fantastic album. This album features the song My Land, and the song was inspired by Gary Clark. He bought a, if you're familiar with Texas, like out in the hill country, they're selling off these ranches and they're breaking them up into like 50-acre plots. So it's kind of like a subdivision, but it's not like the subdivision you're going to find, in most places. It's gravel and dirt roads, and you just drive for miles and miles, and every once in a while there's a mailbox, and that's somebody's lot of land. And like I said, they're 30-acre and 50-acre plots of an old ranch where he had just moved in. He's a young buck, 30-something years old. Some of the things he always wanted was a ranch in Texas. And he always wanted I may misspeak on the type of truck it was, but it was an old Ford, like a 30s or 40s Ford pickup truck. So he bought him one, and he had it out in the driveway. And they were fixing it, and they were cooking some barbecue, and I'm sure they're playing some cool music. Him and his friends, his comrades, were a neighbor. The neighbors are pretty far away up in that area. Noticed something, and they were probably spying with binoculars. I'm guessing on that part. But they called the flipping police, and the police showed up. And he wrote the song, "Hey, this is my land, that's my Model T, or that's my whatever it is. We're just trying to get something to eat." Very sad that, that would happen to him. But it did, and that's what inspired that song off of this album. And that is for my retirement year. And I'm going to show a bonus, a fourth album. This is the lovely Margo Price. I love Margo Price's music. She's an incredible singer, songwriter. She's bringing country back to country, and they don't acknowledge that, and that sucks. The Country Music Association, the Country Music Academy should be ashamed of themselves for overlooking this woman, Margo Price. This came out in 2016, the year my granddaughter was born. If you're not familiar with Margo Price, you like the old school country music, you're probably going to dig her. She's wonderful. Anyway, this is my... Oh, in the background, let me tell you what I got playing, man. In the background, we got Charles Lloyd, Record Store Day album from a couple years ago. Some nice Sunday morning jazz. Anyway, this is for Record Talk. Record Talk, I appreciate everything you do in the VC, man. You got a wonderful channel. He sent me some nice VCLT a while back. Just a very laid-back guy and a good part of the VC. If you're not familiar with him, check out Chris at Record Talk. Again, I'm Rod. I appreciate everyone for stopping by and hanging out with me. I hope all your days are filled with nothing but good.